questions, we'd be happy to talk with you about them. I want to talk to you about something I see happening going on about signs. Everything's a sign. Everybody's seeing all these signs about, this. Every time somebody crosses their eyes, the wrong way in the middle, that's a sign. It's the end of time. No, not everything is a sign, because if everything's a sign, then nothing is a sign. I'll give you a great example of what's going on with this. Back in December, we had some folks who were all excited about the so-called Star of Bethlehem. I'm sorry, it was not the Star of Bethlehem. It was an alignment of Jupiter and Saturn, if I understand correctly. That happens about every 800 years, and it makes a real nice light. No, the real Star of Bethlehem was a supernatural occurrence that did happen, and God put it there. And there was this thing at that time. We actually have outside attestation of this. There were Chinese observers at the time who saw this thing. For them would have been in the west, but they see this stationary thing. So no, this is not the star. But that's a sign. That's a sign. No, it's not a sign. Are there signs? Yes. Jesus says you will know the signs of certain things. But we got to quit looking at everything as a sign. We just have to trust God. We don't have to know everything. We don't have to see everything. We know in part, we see in part. God will take care of all these other things. Or we have the folks, there's so many signs of this. We got to talk to, the prophet. We got to hear from the prophet. Well, here's the thing about prophets. Scripture says that in the former times God spoke to us through the prophets, but in these last days He spoke to us through His very Son. So you're going to tell me that you're going to listen to somebody over the Son of God, that they know more than the Son of God? And really, prophets don't talk about elections and other things like that. They're here to point to Jesus. Here to point to Jesus, not about all these other things. Again, I'm not here to be mean. I'm not here to be nasty. I'm just saying we need to start looking at things a little bit differently and stop making, these crazy assumptions that sometimes make us look pretty bad. Again, not everything is a sign, because if everything is a sign, then there are no signs. So let's grow up a little bit. Let's start looking at things the way they are. Not every time you see something, every time the weather changes, it's not a sign. Every time there's this, that's not a sign. Every time the moon is bright, no, that's not a sign. Every time something happens, every time, somebody crosses their eyes in the Middle East, no, that is not a sign of the end times. Are there end times? Yes, but that's not it. Let's just trust God. He said there'd be wars and rumors of wars and all these other things. We just need to trust God, and He'll take care of it.